Why, hello and welcome everybody. It is Pohx again. So today, for you guys, I have a really whack, retarded, interesting concept of a build, which totally may not work. So before I get it started, I don't want to explain too much of the build. Actually, JK, of course I'm going to explain the build. But this is going to be more of the leveling process because it is so phenomenally easy to level the character. So let's just get our D3 music on, Kappa. Alright, so the concept of this character is it's going to be a two-handed crit, Oro's Sacrifice, dual totem, Ancestral Protector, wherever it is because my friend moved my links around. Fuck, where do you put him? Ancestral Warchief. So it's a crit Inquisitor utilizing Oro's Sacrifice via dual totem. Yeah, does that make sense? Okay. You can pull out elemental shit and put in increased AoE. Okay, so I have a little bit of this build popped here, and I want to kind of go over exactly how this will work. So, the purpose of Inquisitor is Inquisitor will give you access to Inevitable Judgment. I'm just going to read it off because I know you guys can't see it. Inevitable Judgment basically allows you to penetrate all resistance, so they have 0 resist. Instruments of Virtue, it's like the overlap thing you don't really need. It's basically just going to give you a attack speed steroid. And then you get Augury of Penitence, which is nearby enemies deal 8% less elemental damage, and nearby enemies take 16% increased. So that's also just good to get. And this also helps counteract Oro's debuff, which is you take 10% increased fire damage. So it kind of helps that a little bit. Now, Oro's is the, I believe, highest damage per second weapon in the entire game. I could be wrong on this. I want to go ahead and pull it up for you guys so you can see it exactly. Okay. Oro's Sacrifice has a 740 damage per second as pure fire. You cannot deal any physical damage. You get Culling Strike against burning enemies, and you gain a Frenzy Charge when attacking Knights an enemy. Now, none of this really matters. We just care about this deeps right here. You see this big deeps? This deeps? That's what we want. We want the deeps. Now, it has a 5% chance to crit, which is pretty shitty. So, with an increased critical strikes gem, it's about 7.8%, which is not too bad. So, on our tree, let's bring that up right here. On our tree, we have... How much crit do we have? We have 2 power charges, plus 1 we're getting from Alira, so that's 3 power charges, which gives us 300% increased crit. We get Disemboweling, which is going to be, let's see, 50 crit plus 30, 30. So actually, I can just bring up crit on the tree here. We get 135% increased melee crit, plus we get 100% global crit, right? Global crit if we've summoned a totem, so that's, think of the power charges as 300, 400, 500, and then 100% increased critical strike chance against enemies that are affected by no status ailment, which is this one. So let me actually put on the window capture shitter for this, because I fucking hate this. You guys can't see it, but my mouse basically, imagine if you were to ferociously fap, my mouse is like, and it keeps like blinking in and out. So Righteous Providence, you get 100% increased critical strike chance against enemies that are affected by no status ailments. So that's another 100% increase. So we get the totem is 100, 200 from this. We get 135 from Disemboweling, so that's 335. Plus our power charges is 635%. We have 5 jewels, so that's crit on jewels as well. And then this is not including any gear either. So we got a decent amount of crit. It should put us to about 55, maybe 60%. You use a diamond flask, you're good. So that's kind of how I want this to roll. Now, again, to show you an example of how the character is going to work on the leveling phase. Okay, that was a fat finger. Shh, pretend like nothing happened. Alright, this character now is currently level 56. This is exactly what the tree looks like. So nothing too crazy. It literally looks the same. I just haven't put in any crit notes yet. So we've got AoE from here. We've got AoE from Templar. We get the Totemic Mastery here. We get the Ancestral Bond for totem nodes. And we get Ironwood for totems. Now the build also will go Blood Magic because you really don't need too much auras. If you don't want to run Blood Magic, obviously you don't have to run Blood Magic. I think Blood Magic is going to be pretty cool with it. So, again, I want to show you guys this in Merciless. Now, I'm very basic bottom gear right now. I've got Face Breakers, Meginords, 2 rings with Flat Fizz, an Amulet for Flat Fizz. The reason for Flat Fizz is you're scaling your Face Breaker for the more, which is a multiply unarmed damage, just for leveling. And a skirmish allows you to have 3 totems out. Now, I have shit resist right now. I have, like, actually, they don't look shit, but they are shit. I have pretty awful resist right now. They're, you can see 30, 51, and 32, because I haven't upgraded my gear. I'm sleeping Wanderlust. And we've got increased AoE, elemental focus, faster attacks, ancestral warchief, melee physical, and added fire, and a tabula rasa. And I want to show you guys pretty much how this works. We've got hatred and Herald of Ash, and this is the build right now. It is insanely easy to level. Like, literally everything just dies. Everything just fucking dies. You don't have to worry about anything. If you want more damage, drop Ink AoE and use Conk. But literally, like, everything dies. You don't have to do anything. It just falls over and dies. It's fucking obnoxious. You should see it in normal and cruel, too. Like, it dies even faster. Like, everything just fucking falls over, and it costs nothing. And this isn't my build. This is just scaling with facebreakers. Anybody can do this. You know, because I have literally almost no increased physical damage on my tree at all. But it's obnoxious how crazy it's going to be. Now, in terms of defenses, what the build is going to run is we're going to have 5 endurance charges, which will mitigate the increased damage I take from Oros by quite, obviously, more than it does, because it's only 10% increased Fizz. And the endurance charges are 4, 8, 12, 16, 20, so 20% reduced Fizz. Then the elemental damage, again, gets counteracted, majority of it, simply by Augury, which is the node we were talking about earlier, which is via the Inquisitor. And then we'll have about 220% life, maybe about 200%. Plus you have 5 jewels, so 5 times 7 would be 35. So that's 35% life from your jewels. So you could push anywhere from 235 to 260% life. Now I'm going to be using a Tabula as a budget character. As you guys know, I love my budget builds. I think ideally endgame you would want to use a Comb's Heart, which gives 500 flat life and 40% increased fire damage. Now, this chest piece will give a absolute, like, retarded amount of HP, which is why it's something we want to push towards in the future for this build. A double totem build utilizing combs. That's pretty cool, right? Other than that, I don't really know. That's pretty much all I can really tell you guys. Again, leveling is a complete joke. It's a fucking breeze. As for where I went first, I went through, grabbed my AoE, grabbed my precision for some attack speed. Martial Artistry is a jewel that gives increased AoE while you're unarmed, so it's very good for leveling. We're not going to use it later on, obviously, so you don't have to get it. Totemic Mastery, I moved across here, grabbed my Dex for faster attacks, picked up my life, came across, Ancestral Bond, and then I went shimmy and ran all the way here. You actually don't need to touch any of this. It's not a waste because I'm gonna need it later on, but you don't need any more AoE. So instead of going here, go ahead and come down towards here, grab your life, move across, grab your life, come down, grab Ironwood, grab your life here, or you can be retarded like me and pretend like you're getting life, but actually spend 2 points on nothing, because I'm going to get all the life nodes, so we get life here, and we're going to grab the life here as well. And then you can transition to crit. Obviously, you cannot go crit until you have your Oros, so, I mean, actually you could if you wanted to, but I'm not going to go crit till I have my Oros, because that's the whole point of my build. So around level 67 to 80, probably, not 80, maybe like 75, is when the build should fully take off. Anyway, hope you guys enjoyed yourself. Remember, if you want to see any of my characters, just type !profile on my stream at twitch.tv/Pohx. This character's name is Pohx Punch, so all you gotta go do is just look at the character Pohx Punch. You can see all my gear, you can see my current skill tree, you can see how big his penis is, I mean what? So anyway, hope you guys enjoyed yourself, hope you guys have a wonderful time, and peace out, boys.